Welcome to the Nerd Party. Welcome to Time and Space, a Doctor Who podcast. I'm Jessica Nunn.
And I'm her husband and co-host, Phillip Gilfus. Well, today we're going to be talking about one of the, I was going to say premiere, maybe that's too strong a word, villains of Doctor Who.
No, I think premiere is appropriate. It is my personal favorite of proper villains, no redemption.
Monsters. Right.
Yeah.
Now, of course, these actually are New Who monsters, but I think they've sort of cemented their place
High five.
In the pantheon of memorable and remarkable Doctor Who monsters.
Yes.
And what we're talking about is
The Weeping Angels.
Yes, so they've appeared in a variety of episodes, but basically, really in 1, 2, 3, 4 episodes, it will be talking about one of those being a sort of a two-parter. They've sort of made smaller appearances throughout the episodes and series of New Who.
And even made an appearance in the final episode of Class, correct?
I thank you for bringing that up, because we can talk about it now. Let's not talk about it in order. One of the things, we'll talk about the different episodes and how they built up the mythology, but a tease or a promise, or a theoretical promise, because, anything that's past Class Season 1 is a promise that never happened, but that we might have seen the home planet of the Weeping Angels in Series 2 of Class.
Yeah.
So, I guess it's been a while. If I remember correctly, the revelation in that last episode was that behind the school board...
Yes, I think so. The headmistress...
The school board.
Yeah, president. Governors. Board of Governors.
I was waiting for you to do the British translation.
Sorry. I didn't realize. Yeah, I'm too far away from the TARDIS.
But anyway, that behind the Board of Governors were the Weeping Angels.
Yes.
So that was, and at least an interesting, kind of random, but interesting premise. Because obviously there was kind of a lot going on in Class near the end there. But anyway, that would have been true.
Yeah, and I'm open to the idea, but I'll be honest, and I'm going to go against, because I am always the person who says, I like the redeemable villain.
Right.
I like, they're not really a villain, it's just our perspective, and if we listen to their side of the story. And that is normally the way I completely work. I'm not sure I want that from the Weeping Angels.
It's good to have an exception.
Which I appreciate. Makes me a little bit of a hypocrite. But, I like the Weeping Angels just being villains.
Well, let's get into sort of individual episodes. We don't have to do the whole episode, but so first we watched Blink, of course, Series 3 with the 10th Doctor.
Yes.
Or what little of the 10th Doctor was in that episode. But anyway, what did you rewatching the introduction of the Weeping Angels? And of course, I didn't think about this, but all these episodes are written by Moffat, so reward or punish him accordingly.
Yeah, no, reward, definitely. I love them. And Blink is probably one of my favorite episodes. I just think it ties together so neatly. And I always forget and am reminded in the rewatch that they do establish at the very beginning that they don't kill you, they send you back. And I'd sort of forgotten that with the girl. What's she called?
Sparrow.
Yes, something Sparrow. It's another thing that starts with S.
I was about to say, but anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's not Susan.
Sally.
Anyway, Sally. Oh, nicely done, baby. Sally Sparrow's friend.
Nightingale.
Okay. There was no way I was coming up with that.
That was the joke. It was Sparrow and Nightingale.
Oh, right.
Sounds like detectives do like 2 ITV.
Yeah, well, and that comes back to...
Because the brother, and then that's the name of their shop at the end.
Yeah. And then again, that comes back in the last time we see them with the detectives and all. But anyway, I digress. So yes, when Miss Nightingale gets sent back and her grandson arrives with the letter explaining everything. And, I'll be honest, it doesn't seem terrible. I mean, from what we know about people sent back in the past, they all seem to be all right.
Well, with Blink, and whatever, it's Moffat, he can change it if he wants to. I feel like in Blink they explains, or the Doctor explains, that what the Weeping Angels get from sending someone in the past is that they get, this is all timey-wimey, but they get all the days
what ifs
that you didn't live in your present, that they feed off those things that never happened. But then, like, later, he switches it to they get off from sending you in the past.
No, I still got the impression that they feed off of that, but then, when he talks about continuing to send you back into the past, they continue to get those what ifs.
Right.
So you're living your life now. They send you back to the 1920s and feed off all the stuff that you would have done in the 2020s. And then when you're in the 1920s, they send you back to the 1820s and feed off all the stuff that you would have been in the 1920s. So, no, that was my impression, that it wasn't just sending you back.
And I think Blink starts, and this isn't a criticism, it's going to sound like it, but I don't mean to. But,
you better not. I like this episode.
Well, it starts it. Because, I think ultimately the question we'll ask is, have they used them too much? It's kind of like, not to use a Star Trek example, but I'll do it. The Borg. You have this great introduction of the Borg in Next Generation. Then you have the bigger, play with them, the two-parter, best of both worlds. But then when it comes to Voyager, they're like always there. And so the argument is, well, we've watered them down. The more you learn about them, the more you drill down, they're not mysterious anymore. And so with Weeping Angels, and we don't have that many episodes, but they are. But the question's going to be, did we use them too much? Did we go to the well too much or not? And can you overuse them? Should we not use them anymore?
I am shaking my head emphatically. No, I think from 10th Doctor Martha era to 11th Doctor end of Amy and Rory, we only see them 4 times.
Right. Well, from a whole episode.
Yeah.
Because there's bits and pieces, like, they show up with on Trenzalore.
Yeah.
In the final days. And I don't know. When I was, doing the TARDIS Wikipedia, it lists everything, but it's all snippets.
No. I'm always up for a good Weeping Angel episode.
But yeah, I liked with Blink. The point I was going to get to that I'm straight from is it starts this thing of like the people who get sent back into the past, but then that you encounter them now in the present or whatever time you're in. You now encounter the person that was just sent back in time in the present, that they're old now. But it's always like they die that day. It's always like, like her cop friend. I don't know if they're explicitly saying he's dying that day, but he did say this is the last time I'll see you. Sort of implied.
Oh, yeah, no, and I think he does die that day. I think you're right about that.
Rory,
but we don't see that in Blink.
The detective in the next, which I know, but like, it always seems like...
Yeah, we don't see it in Blink, and we don't see it in the second one. Mm-hmm. We only see that in that 2-parter.
Mm-hmm. Well, in Blink, the cop, that's the first time.
Oh, gosh, yes. No, you're right. You're right.
That's what I'm saying. It establishes...
Yeah.
To me, it's...
But they don't do it with the girl.
No, because she went too far back. Yeah. But anyway, because he went back to the 60s with the Doctor and Martha.
I just have this, and I feel like I'm making these analogies a lot, and maybe we should do an episode on it. But the cop...
Yep.
Definitely Peggy Carter.
I like it.
I'm
familiar with it. I didn't watch all the series, but yeah.
Well, no, but Peggy Carter in the Avengers after...
Right. She shows up older.
Yeah, that's the movie.
Yes.
And then, Steve, she's like, "Oh, Steve, here you are. What the hell happened?" And then 20 minutes later, she's like, "Steve, here you are. What the hell happened?" But, that sort of full circle idea and use of exposition, I suppose.
And also the concentration around places. So they love a old mansion or I don't know what you call it, estate, house, whatever.
Yeah.
But, this is not necessarily in keeping with the Weeping Angels other than the time shifting, but the whole construction of this episode is, definitely doff my hat and to Steven, the wallpaper, the video you see.
Again, the timing for it is just stunning. Mm-hmm. And, of course, the introduction of the phrase.
Timey-wimey.
Yes. Which, everybody loves.
Yeah, because I think, I read in interviews, I think it was an interview that RTD, Russell T. Davies, and Stephen Moffat interviewed each other for Doctor Who Monthly. And Stephen was like, it's the episode he says he's most recognized for, which he thinks is funny because it's not when he was in charge. It's when Russell was in charge. Yeah. And sort of a reverse to Russell. It's when he was in charge, but he didn't write the episode. And so he's always felt like a little weird. And then also the Doctor's not really in it.
Yep, not very much. Yep. So. Although, again, I love the neatness of it. Mm-hmm. The whole circuity of, he's in this video answering things that, like in the beginning at least, aren't even being asked. And then later on, she is asking and he's answering and the guy's taking the notes. And then at the end, she gives the transcript to the Doctor so that he can make the, it just all sort of comes full circle. And it's just beautiful. It's just a well-written episode.
Now, have you ever encountered, not the real ones, have you ever encountered weeping angels, at least the way that the statue looks like? Have you ever encountered those in real life?
I feel like yes.
I don't know, is it a British construction? I mean, we have statues like that in cemeteries, but I don't know if that's more, you see that more around Britain.
I don't know. I'm thinking about a cemetery that we visited while we were in Ireland that may have had, that's a lot of them are the crosses, but I feel like possibly. And then I also think about, of course, like things like Notre Dame and, with the gargoyles, any of that sort of Gothic.
The ones that are left.
We don't talk about it.
Yep.
They'll be back. They'll be back. So, yeah, there's enough Gothic architecture in Europe, full stop, to make this a pretty creepy.
And the way the Doctor describes in Blink, like he calls them sort of psychopaths. And I guess that's really the monster element. He doesn't necessarily say, like, maybe he did and I just didn't catch, like, where they come from or why they're on Earth, per se. Just that there's some here. But I guess even talking about how many there are, of course, that's the way the episode kind of plays with your mind. At the very end there with the little montage.
Like, are all the statues in the world alive?
We'll get to that in subsequent episodes here.
Also true, yeah. Yeah. And I think we get a little bit of some of that in the second episode, the river episode.
Yes, they're both river.
No, I know, but this is the primarily river episode. And presumably the first time she sees 11?
Yeah. Well, let's finish up Blink and we'll move on here. Anything else to say? There's the basic construction that we'll recognize. We'll get into different kinds, but they're always sort of, they look the same. The wings and the female version of and then the blank eyes, and then they can't look at each other. That's why they're weeping, because they have their hands in front of their eyes, because they don't want to be able to.
Yes, although I'm going to come back to this later on, but yes, and that's how ultimately in Blink they're destroyed, is he gets them to circle one another, and then the TARDIS disappears, and they're all staring at each other, and
they're stuck like Chuck. Is
that a thing?
Mm-hmm.
Stuck like Chuck?
Yep.
I don't know that I've ever heard that.
I'll introduce you to other American idioms.
Okay. Yeah. I like stuck like Puck. It's a little more Shakespearean, I think.
Was he stuck in that?
No.
Okay, so.
But where was Chuck stuck?
You'd have to have been there.
Were you there?
Were you there?
All right, let's move on.
But, like I said, they tease montage at the end of Blink, which, again, is effective visual storytelling of, everything is a statue, everything could be a weeping angel, and I think it's that scary element. Because it's a scary episode. Like I said, I'm trying to think now that I say this, no one dies, natural causes, old age, but no one dies. no one's murdered by a weeping angel, only by old age. So, but it's still a horrific episode, and that sound effect, that's just the weeping angel sound effect, the one where you look away and then they move, cha,
yeah,
cha, cha, and that's just like the way, and then seeing the sort of that demon face they have and all that. So
yep. Fun.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on to their next appearance, which is a two-parter, The Time of the Angels and Flesh and Stone, Series 5, the 11th Doctor's first series, Matt Smith era. And, of course, it's an interesting episode because I think, off the top of my head, it's like the third and fourth episode. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's very early. But it's not only the first reappearance of the Angels, it's also the first reappearance of River Song.
Yes.
So you sort of get bringing back two elements, because the question is, will it work?
This is her first episode after she dies?
Yeah, after the library.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't think I guess that makes sense, but...
Yeah, because it's sort of like...
so she only did one episode
two-part.
with the 10th Doctor?
Yeah.
Huh. Oh, how much fun would they have been together, though? Come on.
And so I think it's very interesting to start off the 11th Doctor. I mean, risky that you're sort of bringing back two older elements, which are not... It's funny, because I forget who... I don't know who wrote the library. Maybe it's Stephen, for all I know. So, he's allowed to bring in his own elements now that he's showrunner. This is his first series as showrunner.
Right.
He's bringing in things he wrote.
Yeah.
So, I guess not that risky, considering, he wrote it, and he wrote it again for his own series now, this time not just Russell's. But, it's still dodgy. You never know. A sophomore, edition, you're going to have the same power that you had. And so, combining these two elements. But
it's clear at that point, particularly watching, of course, in hindsight, it is clear he has a plan. So much. So many little things are dropped. Of River Song being in prison
for killing someone.
A good man. Right. All of those things are dropped, and even by the end of it, it feels like he knows more.
Right.
And then, of course, you also have that scene with Amy when she's blind that will come back around.
Yeah, with Pandorica opens, or the whatever the episode after that is. I can't remember them all, but yeah, where I wonder, as we do these episodes reviews of the 13th Doctor series, we should be pretty eagle-eyed, but it'd be funny if we were watching this episode, hey, he wasn't wearing a coat.
Yeah.
He has a coat. Would we feel like there was an error there and be like, well, that was messed up. These stupid people don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. So how many things do you think are being planted? I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. I do think Russell Davies is absolutely the master of that. Mm-hmm. For good or ill. And I think at times it does get awfully convoluted. Mm. But... when you go back and watch episodes like this and watch those strings tie themselves together.
Stephen, you mean?
Stephen, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen Moffat. I think it's beautiful to watch.
Now, this sort of goes, with Blink, you had a number of Weeping Angels, but it was a small number. This one, there's a million of them.
There's a million
and like
of
I said,
them.
there's the danger, does that water them down any? Because I guess initially you just think there's one. And then you find out, oh, by the way, it's like a whole army of them.
And as you say, you get a lot more information, when when there's a photograph of them.
Yep.
They are there. When they are stuck in your eyeball, apparently, they are there. And they're trying to rescue themselves. And so you've got all of these older ones. This one, the angels... to me, in this episode, are not anywhere close to the most interesting thing about the episode.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot going on. In a good way.
Yes, yeah. But I feel like they're almost, oh yeah, there were angels in that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Although I like Angel...
Bob.
Is it Angel Bob?
A sacred name.
Yeah.
More like Scared Bob. Yeah.
Yeah, he was bloody creepy, wasn't he?
And that's a very interesting element because the angels have no voice, to give them a voice. Of one of their victims. And this one, they're killing people in this one. And they're not sending anyone to the past in this one. This is all just straight up murdering people. The bishop and everyone else. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think Blink is scarier for me. This one, just because there's so many. Not that you get the suspense or the pulsing of this episode, but I don't think they're per se as scary as they were in Blink.
No, and like I say, I think giving them a voice makes them scary. That's the scariest part of the Angels to me in this one. But again, there's just so much going on. Amy's running away from her wedding, which we see at the end, and then she's blind, and there's the crack in the wall, and then there's River Song, and why is she in jail, and oh, good man, and then there's the doctor appearing, but is it really the doctor? There's so much, like I say, I think the Angels are the least interesting part of this one.
And so they show some things, which again, you're always like, just showing this ruin it. So we see the Angels moving for the first time. Because, that's always in your imagination what it actually looks like. But now we're going to show it. The slowly moving when Amy's blind and they think that she can see. But then they suddenly decide, oh, wait, she can't see us. And so they start to move a little bit. But I think the look of the Angels is really, really good. Because we watched the DVD extra showed the actresses, because it's women that play this role, doing this. But, like, when you see them in the makeup or the... I guess outside of the actual episode, you're like, oh yeah, it kind of looks like it's the plastic, but on screen, like it does look.
Oh, I know.
Solid.
I mean, there are so many times that I'm watching it, especially after having seen the extra. So many times that I'm watching it where I'm like, is it a statue or is it a person?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nope, it's changed position, so it must be an actual person. Okay. Oh, is that one a statue or is it a person? Yeah, and I loved I can't remember who it was, if it was Stephen Moffat or somebody else talking about, how terrifying they are. Even when you step outside the studio and they're having a fag around the corner of the building. And I just think, yeah, that would creep me out. A little weeping angel hanging out with a fag in their mouths in a completely unexpected place. Yep, that would scare the crap out of me.
Because for those who haven't seen the extra, is they basically do everything except the mask. Like, they'll wear that all day except for the mask. When they're filming, then they put the headpiece on.
And then they have little places through their eyes that they can see until they put the lenses over top, and they're not like contact lenses. They're lenses that go into the mask. Pieces, yeah, and then they can't see anything.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, creepy.
It is. And that's not a hard, that is a hard acting job to literally be that still.
Yeah.
In a scene, and I know filming is short clips, but still, yeah.
Yeah, and they were saying that it comes easier once you're in the costume. The costume lends itself to that sort of movement, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Well, anything else about the two-parters here?
Nope. I'm ready to move on to the last one.
So, Angels Take Manhattan.
Yes.
And this is the final appearance.
So far.
Not really, but it's the formal goodbye for Amy and Rory.
Oh, yeah.
And so this is a series 7. Once again with the 11th Doctor. Once again with
River Song.
When, now that they know she's mom, or now they know Amy is mom. Rory's dad.
Can I stop and go back just a little while? Because when the 11th Doctor realizes that River Song is on her way, even though this is only the second time we've seen her, he is very much got to get myself ready and fix my hair and all of this stuff. Which I think is very interesting and suggests that he has seen her since.
Yeah, because it's, and you can form your own story. We've done the River Song timeline. But, and I know this is going to sound stupid, but, in Time of the Angels, God, Matt is so young. And so, and that interplay we talk about with Matt just being a great actor, playing against, River, who he's never met the actress before. This first time with the established part of, being kind of annoyed, but kind of accepting this role, relationship. But now it's funny when you take Angels Take Manhattan, he's fairly smitten.
Oh, yeah.
Yowza.
Oh, yeah. So smitten. But again, even in the not the library, but the one that we were just talking about, the Time of the Angels and Flesh and Stone, when she shows up, he's like, oh, gotta fix my hair, gotta look good, woo woo, you know. So straight in for Matt Smith, but indicates that sometime between the library and this episode, there may have been other things.
But, yeah, so with Angels Take Manhattan, the Statue of Liberty is an angel, darling.
Yeah, it is.
Too much?
No, because it's this giant thing that is terrifying. And they don't really make a big deal out of the Statue of Liberty. You know, we're not looking at the Planet of the Apes here. You know, it's clear that that's what's happening, but I don't think the characters really talk about it. It's just huge and terrifying.
Well, Rory's like, I always wanted to go to see the Statue of Liberty. I didn't know he was going to come see me.
Yes,
you know?
yeah. Again, so it's not this huge, oh my God, this symbol of, you know, none of that. It's just, there it is.
And then, of course, with in Angels Take Manhattan, so they basically have made their hotel, their death hotel, or I don't know, battery hotel is what they call it. So I guess it's like Matrix or something.
Battery key?
Winter
key.
See, I'm not familiar with the word, so it's like K-E-Y is how you say it.
Yes.
I mean, I know it's spelled Q-U-A, but it's, I think one
Q-U-A-Y, but it's pronounced key, yeah.
And I don't know if
it's some sort of water thing.
I would say, Stephen, that's not an American word. There's no place in New York that would use that. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't live in New York, but that was just very a Britishism that doesn't necessarily work. In the episode, kind of throws you out if you're American. But anyway, yeah, so they're basically, the Angels sort of have decided just to, you know, take up shop here in New York in the 1920s and
off we go.
Just pop people back. And I guess they were trying to say that the people never leave. It's basically Hotel California.
Yes. Which is ironic.
Yes, exactly. Hotel New York. And so, yeah, like you said, they just keep zapping them back. But then again, you do the whole thing like, the detective finds himself. I guess he doesn't die. Maybe, I can't remember whether he's...
I don't know, but he gets sent back at that point. And
but then,
it's never clear why the guy, Ian Shane?
No.
Who was the mafia guy? Yeah.
I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
Ian Shane, that's Winston Churchill, isn't it?
I don't think so.
Okay, anyway.
I don't know. We'll do some research, but never mind. He was on Whose Line Is It Anyway all the time, and played Friar Tuck.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, the original is what you mean. Yes. I remember now.
Yeah. I'm on it. Anyway, it's never clear why he sends the detective out looking.
Because then he hires River.
Yes, and even that's a little unclear. Why has he hired River? Why is he hiring detectives?
I guess it's a protection. You know, because he's keeping the Angel hostage, and he knows they're after him, I guess. And so maybe he's, you know...
I feel like a detective is not necessarily the best protection detail.
Well, because he tells them to go to the hotel where they live, and maybe...
And then he immediately captures River, or lets the Angel capture her.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, there's some discrepancies.
But yeah, so you have the... Sort of kind of like Dalek. It's actually like a bunch of episodes, really, where the villain captures another monster and then tortures the monster, and then of course the monster's going to end up getting back at them. So, you know, like with Dalek, when the future villain was holding the Dalek, and then Dalek kills her. But I'm just trying to think of any new things other than them being able to open hotel rooms and elevators by themselves. So now it's just a haunted mansion.
Yeah, so. And they save Rory and Amy when they jump off the building.
Creating the paradox.
Yes.
So that's sort of this whole thing about the Weeping Angels being some sort of this temporal, timey-wimey villain.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're sending people back in the past, but, whatever. What would you think of the... Because it kind of reminds me of, like, the Daleks. They don't really do it with the Cybermen, I guess, a little bit. But kind of introducing new models. So now we have the baby.
Oh, I love the cherubs.
Yeah.
They're bloody terrifying. Yeah. And then, of course, it lends itself when we were at Galley 1, seeing the small children.
Oh, yes, dressed as weeping
running
angels.
Around as weeping angel cherubs, which is terrifying. But I think the matches scene is fantastic. And again, there's so much sort of, okay, so River's writing this book, but you can't read too far ahead, but she's leaving clues, and so then they have to go back to ancient China to leave their own clues, and then there's another message.
Timey-wimey.
Yes, timey-wimey and really intricate, but lovely, not too overwhelming.
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously where some criticism of Moffat can come from, his tendency to do this. And in this episode, I don't think it's too much. I mean, it's symbolic, or it's not symbolic, it's an example of what he does, but I don't think it's too much. People may disagree, but, yeah.
No, and
but
like...
time can be rewritten, or if you say the thing, now it's a fixed point in the time, in the book, and all that,
Yeah, and I think that, one of my, not complaints, but discomforts, I suppose, is his overarching with that because it gets overwhelming.
Yeah.
When it's sort of self-contained like this is, I think it's gorgeous. And when it's self-contained like Blink is, I think it's gorgeous. Starts to get a little bit overwhelming, and maybe that's my bigger problem with the Time of the Angel. Yeah.
Crack in the wall.
Because,
never existing.
Oh, I'm here, but I'm from the future, and I'm having this moment with Amy, and it's a lot. It's a lot.
So, so they haven't used, again, they've appeared, cameo appearances, but they haven't really appeared since then. Since, Series 7, we're now in 12. I feel like I should have the answer to 13. I can't remember. Anyway.
Can't be that far, can it?
We're in
7, because Matt Smith's first one was 7?
5.
Oh, Series 5. Oh, and now they're in 7. Oh, I see what you're saying.
But I mean, now in the 13th Doctor
we haven't
era,
seen them since.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, again, we've seen them, but you know what I'm trying to say. There has been a whole episode about them. And so, is it time to bring them back? Or what? What do you, and what do you add to them? Or, because this is your complaint about the Daleks and the Cybermen. Like, we don't ever add anything. I mean, we sometimes.
No, that's not my complaint. My complaint is that they're two-dimensional.
Right.
And I still stand by it. And I also stand by the fact that I'm being a little bit hypocritical. Yeah. But I think the thing for me is that their stories are always so interesting. And if we play them too much, that's not necessarily going to be the case. But the things that are, it's not just them, it's the things happening around them that are fascinating to me.
I think maybe one thing that adds to them is that they don't talk. So with the Daleks, it's always exterminate or kill or master plan, Cybermen, it's delete, and blah, blah, blah. But, we never talk. I mean, we had, Bob with the one episode, and that's just more where it was sort of like a, to tease and anger the Doctor. But, because they never talk, you never necessarily know what they're thinking or what they're... I mean, you know they're after you, which is always the scary element. But you never necessarily know why or what they're thinking or anything, really. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So maybe that's why you always need, other villains. I mean, in Blink, they were the villain. So no one was... But, in the Time and Angels and Flesh and Stone, you sort of have Angel Bob doing the voice, and then you sort of have... They're not the villains, of course, but then you have the church and the bishop and all that as kind of a voice of context. And then Angels Take Manhattan, you have the villain, rich bad guy that we talked about, who sort of also provides that voice.
Yes, although dies fairly early on. But, But sets the stage for... And maybe that's the other part of it, is so much of it... I mean, they're peripheral. The Statue of Liberty is definitely standing right there. But so much of this is, once it's been set into motion, once they're aware that Rory's in that hotel room and he's got to figure out a way to not let that happen or to stay with Amy or whatever, that all of that happens without the angels. Mm-hmm. And so they make those choices. When River is trapped by the angel and the Doctor has looked at the last chapter, which is Amy's last farewell or whatever it is. And so all of that is self-contained. Mm-hmm. That's not based on the angels per se. They sort of set things into motion and then
fly away,
if you will.
And maybe another part that in my opinion, makes him powerful is because I've been I can't remember the reference, but I think with Peter Capaldi, his thing, and maybe this was mentioned somewhere else, was that Doctor Who villains and things should be something that kids can play at home. And so maybe like the costume or whatever. I can't remember the context I was reading. But here's a villain you can have. Like, you don't necessarily have a dog in your neighborhood. You don't have, but you may have a weeping angel in your neighborhood. And so,
yeah, and also, and they talk about this when they were talking about the fact that it was Amy and Rory's, or maybe not, I can't remember when they were talking about, but one of the confidentials was talking about how similar this is to something like Grandma's Footsteps, which is what it's called in England. Here it's Red Light, Green Light.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, it was the Doctor Who Confidential, and I think on Blink, because it wasn't necessarily a proper Doctor Who Confidential. It was the one with Mark Gatiss and Stephen Moffat.
I don't know, because I definitely remember Matt Smith talking about it as well.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
But yeah, this idea that's a children's game that we play. I mean, I've played it with my drama kids before, and the idea being, when they turn around, you have to freeze in something interesting, and so you get all of these. So it's a concept that kids are familiar with and can play with in that sense.
And kids will never send you back in time.
No, I don't. Hold on, let me think.
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
No. Well, any final thoughts about the Weeping Angels?
Love the Weeping Angels. They make me happy. So sad. It was such a beautiful ending for Amy and Rory. It really was. I thought it was perfect. I thought it was a perfect ending for them. They choose to be together. He gets taken no matter what. And she's...
Poor Rory.
I know, bless his heart. And she's like, there's room on that gravestone for me, man. And so there's this lovely scene where she's staring at the angel and talking to River Song and telling her to be a good girl. And, yeah. And then she turns around just once to say goodbye to the Doctor and is gone. And it's just lovely.
Whenever we talk about companion exits, bookmark that.
Yes.
But for that, let's go into the TARDIS library.
Whoosh, whoosh.
When you close your eyes,
I go to the library.
go to the library now.
So for this segment, one of the things we talked about was the final episode of Rory and Amy. And of course, Karen was starting her American career, if I can put it that way. She had Selfie, short-lived series on one of the network televisions. I can't remember, ABC or NBC.
Okay. Is that where she sings Sia's Chandelier? Haven't you seen that clip where she's singing 1, 2, 3?
Oh, maybe. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, of course, she would go on to Marvel Universe.
Guardians of the Galaxy, whoop whoop.
And, spin other things as well. That was sort of her career. Now, Arthur Darvil, who we've kind of talked about a little bit.
Yeah, it goes on to Broadchurch.
Yeah, that's true. And in his American...
Starts a pop band, I feel like. I feel like there's a band in there.
But he kind of starts his American career January 21st of 2016. The pilot episode premiered on the CW here in America of DC's Legends of Tomorrow with the star and leading man, Arthur Darvil.
Yes. I assume this was a response to Karen getting a job with Marvel.
Uh-huh. Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Oh, yeah.
That's funny.
And so he was like, well, the gauntlet has been thrown down. Pun intended. High five for Thanos. I'm going to DC.
That's funny. I didn't even think about that.
Oh, yeah. No, I think about these things. I'm telling you.
So the synopsis is just very one sentence. Time-traveling rogue Rip Hunter has to recruit a ragtag team of heroes and villains to help prevent an apocalypse that could impact not only Earth, but all of time.
What's his name? Rip Hunter?
Yep.
That's ridiculous.
That's
ridiculous.
So what do you think? We can talk any more about this because we watched pilot part 1 and part 2. What did you think of Arthur helming his own show?
Arthur is playing the Doctor, and that's just, I will not hear any other thing about it.
Mm-hmm.
That is what is happening. Except his TARDIS talks to him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gideon.
Like Jarvis.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a little bit of a mix. It's fun.
And he has Time Lords that he's...
Yeah.
Excuse me, Time Masters, which doesn't sound any better.
Yeah. Yeah, the episode started and I was like...
Is he on Gallifrey?
Is he on Gallifrey? Is that a thing that's happening? So, yeah, I think that's funny, and I'd love to hear him talk about it. I don't know if there are any interviews where he talks about this, but this is so...
I mean, I was looking, because I'm, so for those who, and I mean, you probably do, but for those who don't know, this is sort of what we call the Arrowverse.
Yes.
Because this is what we call basically DC television, because it all started with the Arrow. He's sort of the Iron Man of
yes. Yep.
DC TV.
Yep.
And then, I'll see if I can do this in my head. Next was Flash.
Yes.
I believe.
Yeah.
Next was something else. I don't know why I'm forgetting it, but I feel like there was something.
Is it the girl one?
Supergirl?
Maybe. Yeah, I hadn't thought about them being
Supergirl.
on the same.
Yeah, because you remember we watched
Of course, yes.
a year ago.
The crossover.
I mean, they had another crossover this year. Anyway, but I feel like I'm missing another one. But anyway, so there are various characters that have been introduced primarily in Arrow. But so then now DC's Legends of Tomorrow, they sort of taken these characters who have been either casually mentioned or previously shown, and we've sort of put them together into the sort of the Justice League. Not really, that's also DC, but into this ragtag group.
Who, just for the record, are a whole heck of a lot. Like, I mean, you've definitely got Ant-Man.
Right, yeah. Who's played by Superman. Yes.
Who's played by Superman. Yep. You definitely have Thor and his reincarnated lady.
Oh, Hawkeye, yeah. Or, yes.
No, I was thinking of the Thor.
Oh, yeah.
But they're also sort of the Falcon / Hawkeye
yes.
people. You definitely have the Black Widow.
Right, with the
who's
assassin.
less polished, but yes. yeah, I'm not...
White Canary? I can't remember now.
Yeah, Canary. Yeah, Black Canary,
but
White
now she's
Canary.
the White Canary,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah. I haven't decided for sure. Maybe the bad guys are Bucky Barnes. I haven't gotten that far into it.
You have Fire and Ice. I don't know. That's not their names, but
yeah,
that's how I think of them.
And then there's the symbiote.
Yeah, I was again because I watched Arrow for a couple seasons. It went on for a bit. But I mean, I think
still going on for a bit.
No, he died.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
There's a funny picture of...
I don't think that's funny at all. Was it COVID?
The guy who played the Flash. What's his name? The kid.
Barry. No, that's the character's name. The guy from Elon.
Yeah, from Glee, who's basically at the Arrow's graveyard. He's kind of like smiling and looking at it. And like that was, not during filming, of course. But,
yep.
Any times you can pick on Steven.
Yeah. I don't know what his name is. Why is it not coming to me?
Grant.
Grant Gustin.
Something like that.
Yeah, from Elon University.
That's right.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's all this to say. But yeah, I think this whole superhero TV series thing. But I think in DC's Legends of Tomorrow and the way Arthur, it's not OTT, but like it'd be interesting to play because I mean I think Arthur plays it well, but there is this sort of like you have to believe in this sort of cartoon world.
Yeah. Because
some of the dialogue's a little comic booky, but I mean I say that and it sounds like an insult. Of course, Marvel is doing great things, but this is DC. That's why we're Marvel. But anyway,
is why we're Marvel.
But it's schlocky. But I don't know. I'm not trying to insult it all that much because it was fine. I enjoyed it. I think the only thing that there's so many characters, and not all of them are that interesting.
Yes.
To me. Of course, it's only the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, and we've already had one main character die.
Yeah,
so
it's true.
We'll go from there. But yeah, I think Marvel manages to walk a very, very thin line between respectful and taking the piss out of.
Right.
And DC has never found that line.
I think DC's a little moodier, gritty. That's the word.
Yeah.
Because Arrow's very gritty, of course.
Yeah.
Maybe too much so. Flash is not as gritty because he's a little more youthful and
he's got that little face. That little face can't be gritty. Bless his heart.
I haven't watched Supergirl, so I can't comment.
I'm still only sure he's 12.
Mm-hmm. So this one's is kind of gritty. It's not as gritty as Arrow, but it's.
the Avengers do gritty.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a whole world destruction. Everybody gets turned to dust.
But then they ate shawarma.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I just think there's a thin line. Marvel has found it beautifully. John Favreau.
Oh, yes. And the Russo brothers.
Yeah, I mean, John Favreau definitely started it. Yeah. With that tone that everybody else said, because he wrote it.
Right.
And Taika Waititi possibly took it just a smidge further than was necessary, but I am not going to begrudge him that.
And you have Joss Whedon doing the Avengers.
Yeah. It's just got a nice balance to it, a nice tone that DC, whether it's the television series or the films,
because the only one
hasn't been able to find.
Because we watched, and that is getting off the topic, but I've only seen, maybe you have seen more than I have. We only saw Wonder Woman in the theaters, which I enjoyed. I have not seen any of the Superman movies.
No,
and
don't
or
really,
Aquaman or whatever.
I'd like to see Aquaman.
Yeah, I'm sure you would.
It's not. I like Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
Not necessarily because I'm like, whoa, because, give me Chris Evans any day. I mean, give me you first, and then if I can't have you, Chris Evans. I mean, Jason Momoa is way down that list after you die.
Right.
Clock's ticking, by the way, baby. But I would like to see that one. But yeah, I'm not interested. There's nothing. Whereas, again, the Avengers movies have this lightness, even through the grittiness, that I enjoy.
But with Legends of Tomorrow, I think if we kept on going, I think Arthur is the primary draw.
Yes. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I don't know. I think because, it's funny, with the evolution of Rory, by Angels of Manhattan, everyone's cool. The 11th Doctor's cool with the longer hair, and then Rory's got the longer hair, and he's dressed really, chic, and then Amy's got the glasses, and so everyone's cool now and older, but sort of Rory just adds some facial hair, and now he's Captain Rip Hunter, Time Master, which sounds ridiculous, but anyway,
he's been promoted. I just love it. I'm so proud of our Rory.
But he's in it. He's believe what he's doing. You can believe that he's doing it, and so you're like, oh, okay. And there's one or two, the professor who bonds with the kid to make the fire guy. I don't know any of these words.
Symbiote. Yeah, that's the, and it's one of the reasons I almost want to watch a little bit more to see if I can untangle it from my Avengers perspective.
Yeah. Cause
I'm too busy going, okay, Ant-Man, whatevs,
It's sort of Iron Man / Ant-Man combined together.
Yeah.
And then even I'm sorry, we don't know characters' names. The Hulk woman. There's something she's not ditzy, but just wasn't a lot there.
The reincarnated one?
Well, I mean, they're both reincarnated, but
yeah.
The guy and the girl. But I just felt like she's and I'm sure she's a fine actress probably, and she probably does a lot of stuff in the series. But she's just a model. I know it just wasn't giving me a lot. It wasn't giving me a lot.
Yeah.
But of course the guy died, so it's all her now. So.
Yeah, and then there's Wentworth. What's his last name? The guy from Prison Break.
Oh yeah, Ice. I don't know what his character's name is.
Yeah, in real life it's Wentworth Miller, maybe.
And then Fire.
But he's doing this
voice.
Yes. That I'm not. And I'm like, are you going to stop doing that at
series?
all? You're going to hurt yourself. Stop. And I didn't watch Prison Break. I don't know a whole lot about him. I know he's had media trouble, and I get the impression just from random celebrity gossip that I end up with in my head that I have no idea where it came from. I feel like he's probably a sensitive soul, and so I want better for him. I want him to stop having to use that voice.
And then Fire, it took me a whole thing. I'm like, this guy seems so familiar. I don't know, for all that I know they're related, they're probably not.
Former wrestler.
He reminds me of, and I can't remember his name, the guy from...
John Cena.
No.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
You can't get into my head. It's not a wrestler.
The Undertaker.
It's not a wrestler. The guy
Drax
from Breaking Bad.
I'm out.
No, who then went on Community. as the, you know who I'm talking about. He was in the season of Community. He was basically the Chevy Chase replacement because he was the professor, the criminal justice.
Right.
Banks?
Yes,
Is that
with
his real
the
name?
voice. With the
He
voice.
looks like that's his son.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean, probably not.
I know,
but I see what you're saying.
They had that sort of
yeah.
hardened look.
Yeah.
And they all talk like really hard, you know.
Yeah.
Like, and I was just like, "Oh, that's what I'm thinking of the whole time."
Yeah, no.
You know.
I'm on Drax.
There you go.
Yeah. So yeah, I just can't separate
David.
it at the minute.
Whatever.
Dave Bautista.
Yes. Yep. So, but anyway, so yeah, I don't know if you watched, because apparently it was on for many seasons, Legends of Tomorrow. Let us know if it's worth sticking on to, or you know, because I think this is a minor spoiler, but I'm just letting you know. It looked like Arthur is in 2 seasons, and then maybe his part goes a little less after that.
Okay.
I don't know if that's because he's doing other projects or what. I don't know.
Might be his punk band.
That's true. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, let us know if we should watch more or if we should just wait for Spider-Man 3. Or the Winter Soldier and the Falcon.
I think, and then WandaVision, apparently, that's in the news about
delayed,
not delayed.
Yeah, that one I'm not all that interested in. That looks weird.
Yeah.
But I'm quite excited about Winter Soldier and Falcon. Mm-hmm. And I'm quite excited about the Loki series, whatever that's called.
Yep. All right. Well, that's it. So until next time, enjoy the Doctor's many adventures throughout time and space.
This is BBC Television.